Okay guys, I've got a little bit of Cupid's arrow down. It's a pretty silver gel polish, and what I'm going to do is I am going to, oops, not do that. I'm going to actually draw a spider web. I can get it to go. Nope, don't like that brush. Okay guys, I'm using Cupid's arrow, and across these 3 fingers I am going to attempt to draw a spider's web. Now if you do have a little mess up, just get another brush with some alcohol and you can just come along and narrow your line up a little. And I'll just narrow them up just here at the beginning of my spider's web. Yep. I'll use a small brush to get in there. Just remember, in nature, not everything's exactly straight, but at the same point of time, you don't want them too thick either. So I'm just going to draw a line down there. Then I'm going to get a little fine one, and I'm going to come through and I'm going to draw a little random C's between the lines. At any stage you wish, you can start to freeze it. So I'm pretty happy with that one. I'm going to draw another spider's web on this now. And then I'm going to go back to my curves, or my C's. And last one, I'm just going to do like the tail end of that spider's web. And I'm only going to do a few little very light lines and curls on this. So you can flash through it, and I'll be back after I've done that same thing to this end. Okay guys, so I have my spider webs done on both fingers. Now I'm going to do a spider, and this is where baby girl Jamie's video came in. I really loved how she made her 3D spider, but I'm going to change it up a little bit. She used glitter. Now most of you all know that over the years we've gone sapphire hunting, so I've got a couple of, not sure whether they're red sapphires or they're garnets. I think I'm going to go with that one, just the way it's sitting. And then my grandfather and my uncle used to go out to Lightning Ridge, and they used to go and get opals. And I have that one there, and I have this one, but we're going to use that one. So one finger's going to have the sapphire, and the other finger's going to have the garnet, and I'll put these 2 away for something else. Now this is a real opal. They do have, I'll show you on the back of this one, you can see the potch still on the back of the stone, and they were cutting them. If you'd like to see, thumbs up the video, leave a comment, and I'll actually show you some of the opals that I have brought home. But this is just a tiny, tiny little sliver of an opal that they have cut, and I'm going to turn it into what they call a doublet or a triplet in doing my spidey. So I'm going to put that one there and that one back in the water. Now opals do need to be out in the light, and they do need the water to keep the colour. So I think I might put, because the opal's going to need the more space, so I'm just going to get my tweezers back and try and size it up on where it's going to sit the nicest. I've got that finger. I was hoping it would be this finger, but it's going to sit nicer on that one. What about this one? Yep. Down here. Yeah, we could do it there actually. That's going to sit the best there.
It's a bit big, isn't it?
A little bit still. We did cut it and round it off a little bit, and we could pause and do it again, but because I'm going to encapsulate it in gel, it's not going to matter. So what I'm going to do first is just here, where I'm going to put my spidey's abdomen, which is that opal. I am just going to put down the black polish, and then I'm going to use a little bit of alcohol, and I'm just going to clean up my circle a little bit. Oops, I didn't need that on my hand. So Okay, that's about where the opal's going to sit, so I'm going to just cure that and I'll be back. Okay guys, so I've got my little black dots, one for the sapphire and one for the opal. So I'm going to work on my opal first. I'll just take him across to here and I'm going to pick him up and I'm going to drop him on that black and position him a little bit. Then I am going to get my 3D nail art brush and now I'm going to sorry, just putting him where I want him. I'm going to get a ball of gel and I'm going to gently start trying to keep it in. Actually, I should have put a little bit underneath it. So I'm just going to flip it and then flip it back over because that side has some more colour happening. Okay, and I am just going to leave that there like so for the sec. It's got enough gel on it and I'm going to nuke it for 60 seconds and then I'll come back and I'll put another thing of gel on it to make his abdomen and we'll move forward with the rest of it. I'll do the sapphire next. Okay guys, I've picked a rhinestone. It just happens to be a little awkward because it's got a pointy back. So I'm just putting down some glue and I'm going to stick it there and then I'm going to try and hold it up a bit while it dries if I can. That's it. Oh, shit. Sorry, you're not going to see that bit because my fingers are in the way. It's sticking to my nail. Okay. Bad gemstone. We'll bypass the glue. Get a double shot of gel just here. Give it something to stick into. And yes, I'm making it look harder than what it has to be. Okay, so there's his little head. Now, while it's sitting there, nice and flush air on it, I'm going to nuke it, and I'll be back after I'll just encapsulate that stone more after it gets out, and I'll be back after I've encapsulated it some more. Okay, so you can see displayed his head and his body, and all I've got left to do on him is draw his legs. So let's get this one underway. So, learning from earlier mistakes, I'm going to put a bead of gel down, not a lot, just a little bit, just to help stick it. I'm going to pick up my sapphire. Maybe I shouldn't have picked him up with the gel brush. And I'm just going to sit him there on top, and then I'm going to get a nice bead of gel on my brush, and I'm just going to start securing the stone and wrapping it around it. This one's going to be higher, but that's all good. Okay, so I'm just going to wipe off that excess and wash my brush because I've got a little bit of spillage. Not that it matters because it is clear, but I'm just going to wipe that excess off from there. I'm just going to push my stone backwards a little bit into the gel a bit more. And the black, I was a bit worried about the black with the sapphire, but it's seeming to pick up the colour. So once I've finished, I think I'm happy with him there. I'm just going to pop him in the light and I'll be back and I'll show you how I encapsulate this one. Okay guys, so now I'm just going to run a bead of the gel around the sapphire and just make sure he's totally encapsulated, that he's got a nice roundy little abdomen for my spider. And then I'm going to put a little drop of the gel just here. Chop my brush down. Should have turned my rhinestone over earlier. Grab him with my tweezers and I'm just going to put him on that gobshore for his head. I'm just going to turn my whole nail now upside down so that balls of gel actually pool and dome and make a nice shape, like so. Am I happy with his head before I stick him down? I am now with it sitting there like that. Okay, just tip it back over, make sure I get it doming again. And I'm going to turn the light on, and I am curing this for 3 minutes in my UV light. Okay guys, we're back, and you can see the starts of my two spiders. I've just got to draw their legs on. I do want to explain, you saw that this was a milky opal, it was a white opal. Putting the black underneath it, and that's what they do with the doublets and the triplets, has given it a lot more colour. And then doming it, and I'll put a high gloss on it, because when I just wipe it off like now with my alcohol, it's going to mat it out a little bit. And some of the jewellery you get has only got tiny, tiny little chips in it that have got a black background and a crystal glass top, so to bring up the colour with the opals. So that's them. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get a little bit of andesite ebony or black. This one can be cured in the LED or the UV. I'm going to get my little small detail brush. I'm going to load it up with some black polish, and I'm going to do two legs coming up this way. And then I'm going to do two legs coming down this way And I'll wipe off my brush, get a little bit of alcohol, because I've joined it just there, and I don't want it joined there, so I'm just going to wipe that little mistake away so you can still see his legs. And then on this side, the same thing, he's going to have two legs going. And this second leg I'm just going to do just like that. So there's a line that's there, and because these legs here are going to be a little bit harder too. So you're not going to get the full legs on the nail, so they've got to come around and off. Like so. Okay, so now he's got legs. I could even darken up and go, now you've got an eye. I'm doing a couple of eyes. I'm just going to set that for a second, just so it doesn't move. Welcome back. I'm starting on my Sapphire Spider's black little legs. And I've just done his back ones, and now we're moving to his front ones. Now I'm just going to move my fingers so I can do this side. Sorry for the shaking. I am very, very, very right-handed. Doing little tiny lines like this is not great for a very right-handed person. And I could use my stamping mats and make decals and stuff like that, but that seems like a lot of work to me to draw 4 little lines. So I'm just going to nuke them. I will probably do a quick little second coat. And then once I've top coated all the nails, again, we will be back to show you the finished result. Guys, these are my witch nails for Halloween, well, not for Halloween, but for our costume party. So this one is the opal, the full opal stone, and this one is the sapphire stone made into spiders on spider webs. I hope you enjoy this tutorial and you share it and like it, and feel free to comment below and ask any questions you like. I hope you've learnt something about opals. Over here they say old wives' tales is that they are bad luck. So let's see how much bad luck this stone gives me. Hopefully lots of good luck because it's my granddad. But until next time, stay safe, peace, love and mwah.